Hi everybody. Welcome to Chem 1, Chem 1A in the spring 2018 semester. This PowerPoint is just going to cover how to be a great student in college. For many of you, you guys are freshmen in college, so many of the classes that you're taking or will have taken can be quite difficult, especially Chem 1A. The good thing though is that you are in the spring semester, so you already know what it's like to be a college student. But if you didn't do so great last semester or you're looking to grow as a student, watching this video is going to be really good in taking it a step further towards your education. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start. So there's a bunch of resources on campus. I've listed all of the ones that I could think of. One is a tutoring center, supplemental instruction, the writing center, of course your professor, believe it or not, your classmates, YouTube, the TA office hours, and that goes for any of your your lab instructors. They're considered teaching assistants. They too have office hours. So if you're taking a lab and you need extra help, they have office hours, so you can go there for help as well. SupportNet. There's also department tutoring, such as the biology department, the math department, the chemistry department. SupportNet. Again, I listed that twice, sorry. And then also the Health and Resource Center. So with Tutoring Center, that's going to be located in the library basement. You just go in through the main entrance, you take the elevator all the way down to the basement, just go to the front desk and you can get tutoring in pretty much any subject like chemistry, math, anatomy and physio. There's so many subjects. The tutoring center just keeps on growing, as well as the supplemental instruction department. There's supplemental instruction for more than 75 classes on campus, and that is huge. That's a lot of classes that are being serviced. I will be having my office hours and SI session times soon. As soon as the survey is up, the Learning Center will go ahead and inform me of the SI session times and office hours, so that will be another resource that you can go to for help as well. The Writing Center is really good if you're taking an English class and you need help reading an essay or maybe getting started or even formatting essays. Again, your professor, you can ask one-on-one questions. Professors like to see that if you go to their office hours, they want to see that you're actually trying. So maybe at the end of the semester, if they know that you're right there at the borderline, you're at like say 88%, they might just give you that 2 extra percent that you need to get that A, or for any other grade just to pass the class. Your classmates are a great resource. I would suggest for Chem 1A that you go ahead and start study sessions right away. Study sessions in groups are really beneficial because 2 people or 1 person might know about one topic and you might know about another, and so you guys can go ahead and just fill in those gaps. YouTube's a really good resource. I personally like Khan Academy. That's really good for concepts and early things if you're trying to get a head start in the class. There's also other channels that I share with you guys that I'll be sharing with you guys throughout the semester. So if you ever need help throughout the semester with topics like early on, like what is chemistry, what is an atom, what is electrons, who discovered it, I'll go ahead and send you guys links as we go on throughout the semester. Again, TA office hours. If you're taking Chem 1A lab, your TA will have office hours, so they can help you with your experiments. But if the office hours don't accommodate you because you have class or something like that, you can always schedule and get a different time to meet with your TA. Sorry. But you could also go to a different TA. You don't always have to go to your given TA. You can go to someone that you might find more resourceful. SupportNet's really good because they get you in contact with other resources here on campus. So if you're stressed out, if you might be on the verge of failing, they're really good at supporting you. Even if you're not failing, they're just really good because, they get you the resources that you need, even in the classroom and beyond the classroom as well. Whether that be like talking to somebody or getting support from others. Departments typically have tutoring times. It kind of varies on the amount of availability, but typically they do offer tutoring. Right. And then again, help and resource center. So if you feel like you're having an anxiety attack, trust me, I've had those when I've taken early chem classes like Chem 1A and Chem 1B. They can be really difficult. You can go to Health and Resource Center. They have counselors there. If you're having anxiety, go ahead and take a walk or something. That always helps. So, all right. So for those of you that would like to get tutoring, so how would you get tutoring? So tutoring on campus is 100% free to Fresno State students. It goes, comes out of your tuition. So it's free, but it's not free. So to get tutoring here on campus, you would go to the Learning Center in the Henry Madden Library, located at the basement level. And then if you'd like to see if a tutor is available, you can go to this website right here. So here are some fun facts about supplemental instruction. Supplemental instruction is, again, 100% free to Fresno State students. Students who attend SI sessions at least once a week tend to see 1 to 2 letter grades higher than students who do not attend SI sessions or office hours. This is really great because, like I had said in lecture, this can be the difference between, a C and a B, or a B and an A, or even just passing or failing. If you're not looking to go on to, let's say, Chem 1B, if you only have to take Chem 1A because it's part of your major, you just really want to do well. You want to hit the ground running, and because that GPA can really make a difference when it comes to scholarships and other things like that. So you don't want to shortchange yourself. And then this link right here is just a YouTube link to the video telling us what SI is. Rewatching it, I watched that video maybe 10 times, so it's kind of funny. All right. So aside from SI, there's a lot of things that you as a student can do to be successful in college. So what should you do independently? As you can see from some of this that I've included on these little pictures, one of them is, again, check your email, keep an agenda, and study. So first, keep an agenda. So get a planner, whether it's a little notebook or the calendar on your phone. Commit to putting everything in your planner as soon as you learn about it. With electronic calendars like Google Calendar, or maybe some like Apple that's on your phone, you can even set reminders about important events. So you can color coordinate it by categories. I personally categorize by like times I'm in class, study time, when I'm at work, and even family events, because every minute counts. So if that helps. Keeping everything written down will also help you know if you have potential conflicts that you need to address. So if you're on a baseball team is playing out of game, then you can, talk to your teacher and then make sure you reschedule or take the test a different day. Organize your material by class. So have a place on your bookshelf or your desk, or just a separate binder where you can put most of your important stuff to do. Know where your books, papers, and things are. Don't keep a messy room. I do have a messy room sometimes, especially during finals, but I like to at least keep my workstation relatively clean, because if I don't have that organized, then if that's cluttered, then I have a cluttered mind. So put assignments into their appropriate folders and binders so that you don't lose them. And then if you are taking a class with an online component, make sure to check in with the online platform regularly. So for example, that most likely is going to be Blackboard. Instructors often post notices and announcements online that you'll miss if you don't check. For a lot of the classes, if you use your resources, if you use your classmates, a lot of your classmates maybe have taken the class before, so they may have old notes or exams or quizzes and things like that they kept nice and organized, and they can pass down to you, and vice versa. You could maybe once you're done with Chem 1A, you have a younger sibling, or maybe it's a friend that's going to be taking Chem 1A in the fall. If you keep all your tests, it's really nice to look back on, especially if you're pre-med. A lot of this material in Chem 1A is definitely going to be on the MCAT and things like the GRE, and even if you're pre-nursing. So keep an agenda. That's the number one rule, I would say. If you don't have an agenda, get one. You can get one from ASI. I also have what's called a semester at a glance, and I can go ahead and pull that up briefly. So that pretty much looks like this. So this is called a semester at a glance. It has 1 through 18 weeks. It starts, this is January in the blue, February in green, March in red, and so on and so forth. It goes all the way up to May. Basically, I use this to go through all of my syllabi, and I'll write in test dates and quizzes and any homework assignments that I may have. I write them in their indicated date. This really helps because I know if I'm going to have a really tough week, say February the 5th through the 9th, let's say I had 3 exams, I would know beforehand before I even see it, and I can see my whole semester on one page rather than going back and flipping forth through pages on an agenda. So I will also be sending that link out as well. All right. Next thing is a checklist to becoming a great student. So for this checklist, again, the first one is like its own separate category with agenda, but for this checklist is check your email 2 to 3 times per day. That might seem excessive, maybe it is, but I really do check my email more than that. And I have my email hooked up to my phone, so I know if I have important emails coming from professors or even club meetings and things like that, because it's really important to stay on top of that. And like I said, if you get an email and you have something you have to do, make sure you put it in your agenda or your calendar right away as soon as you see it. Make yourself a study space. It's crucial to have a place that's dedicated to studying. Trying to do all your work in public spaces or your bed just won't give you the focus you need to be really productive. Having a dedicated study space also means you're more likely to study when you're there, so you can have fun and let loose everywhere else. Studies have shown that if you actually study, if you hang out on your bed, you're eating, you watch TV on your bed, you study on your bed, it's kind of confuses your body, believe it or not, because when you really do have to go to bed, you're not tired because you pretty much do everything on your bed, everything but sleep. So, leave your bed only for sleep. Don't study on your bed. Sit on the floor if you have to. Go sit on the kitchen counter or kitchen table. And yeah, just make sure that you're sitting somewhere, even if it's at a Starbucks, because that really does help. So if you have nowhere to study, like I said, at least block out the distractions. Wear noise-canceling headphones or listen to white noise or relaxing lyric-free music. An example of this is if you go to YouTube and you type in lo-fi music or lo-fi hip-hop, it's LOFY and then music is really good. It's actually really nice to listen to. It's not boring. That's lyric-free music, and I really find it helpful when I'm studying. You may find it helpful to have several places to study actually. So if you find yourself getting distracted or bored in one, you can move to the next. A good choices might include coffee shops or the library, or maybe you have a friend who has a nice kitchen table and you guys can study together. My next tip is to read the syllabus for each class. The syllabus is a holy grail of information for every single class. It will tell you what assignments you'll have, when they're due, and what they're worth for your grade. Read its syllabus carefully the first week of class and transfer important dates into your planner or calendar. So transferring those dates, again, are very important. I'll be sending out that semester at a glance. I really suggest that you use it. Take advantage. I've been around long, so I do know what works. I am an SI leader for a reason, so I really hope you guys use these resources. So if you aren't sure about something in the syllabus, you need to ask immediately. It's way better to clear up confusion before you spend a bunch of time doing something wrong. So that can be anything from homework to an assignment, and all of this information can apply to any of your classes. So speaking about classes, go to class. If you look on this funny meme, it says, "Why college costs so much 101." Yes, you even have to go to that class, but I think we all know why it's so expensive. So this one seems like a no-brainer, but it can be tempting, especially in big lectures where attendance isn't always taken to skip out on class, such as Chem 1A. Just don't do it. You'll miss valuable information and announcements if you skip. Plus, you're going to college to get an education, so what's the point if you aren't bothering to learn? Anyway, typically, most of the time, what I always say is half the work is just showing up. If you show up, you're going to learn. If you don't show up, well, chances are you're not going to do so great. So students who get an A because they show up pretty much every day to class. If you don't show up, you're probably not going to pass. So if you're in a smaller class, your instructor will notice your absence even if she or he doesn't count them against you. If it seems like you aren't engaged with the course, your instructor may not want to help you. In Chem 1A for this semester, Professor Vasquez is going to have quizzes. Those quizzes are going to be used for your iClicker. So if you're not in class, you're not going to get credit for those quizzes. So it's in your best interest to show up every single day, even if you just want to sleep in so badly. My next tip is do the homework. Homework can seem like an epic waste of time, especially if it isn't worth much to your overall grading scheme. However, teachers don't assign homework just for laughs. They assign homework usually to teach you important concepts or skills that you need for bigger assignments, like exams or essays, so just do them. And then I put this little meme that was funny. It says, "Today, and basically the computer crashes." And that's pretty much a case that most professors will hear about essays or quizzes or homework or due dates and things like that. So if you think you're fooling them, trust me, you're not. The next one is learn to take good notes. Your ability to take good, helpful notes will directly impact your ability to study for exams and succeed in courses. Taking notes requires you to be an active participant in class, listening to what they say and deciding what's important and what isn't. So, yeah, I put memes on all of these, so they're pretty funny. Again, taking notes, that can include printing out the PowerPoint beforehand, and you have the PowerPoint as a tool, and you can write and highlight directly onto the PowerPoint. That's really good because, you don't have to just sit there and draw everything out. You can just follow along and then highlight what's important to you. Take notes on what you quite don't understand, get clarification on it, and I can, if students request, I can even do a small demonstration of how to take great notes in Chem 1A, so I can go ahead and do that if you guys request that. But for the most part, yeah, take good notes, have a dedicated book for this class. Don't just, get out a scrap piece of paper and start taking notes. Keep yourself organized. Study. So you may have been able to skate through high school without studying too much, but college is so different, and some of you guys may have learned that. If you don't develop wise studying habits, you can find yourself overwhelmed by your workload and failing your classes. So plan to study 2 hours per week for every hour you spend in class. So if you're in class 12 hours a week, you're going to be studying about 24 hours. So that's about a part-time job. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And if you're taking more units, let's say you're taking 15 units, multiply that by 2, you have to study 30 hours. So it's a lot of studying to do. Some classes, like let's say you're taking a swimming class, and that's 2 hours out of your week. Well, chances are Chances are you don't have to study for those 2 hours. However, let's say you're taking a chem class, like Chem 1A. Well, you're probably going to have to study more than 2 hours per week for that class. So I think you should relocate those 2 hours that would have gone to the swimming class, and instead of studying for 2 hours, you study 4 hours. And you can kind of get a sense of what I'm saying. The next is stay on top of your health. With all the pressures of college, it can be really easy to let your emotional, physical, or mental health slip. Don't let your overall well-being suffer through neglect. Keeping a healthy exercise regimen, eating well, sleeping enough, and seeking counseling when you need it will help you stay on top of your game. And I just thought this little meme was funny. It says, I'm starting to see definition in my legs. So I guess I can say things are going pretty good, are getting pretty serious. This is just a really funny meme. Stay on top of your health. Yeah, don't slack off. Don't sleep all the time. Just find a healthy balance. I know that can be really, really hard, especially when you're enrolled in demanding classes. Trust me, I understand. So going and exercising every single day can be really hard, but that's why you have friends who are like health freaks around you so they can push you. The next one is learn to prioritize. So as a college student, you'll have lots of competing obligations, all of which can be super important. Learning to prioritize your commitments and responsibilities will help you achieve a good work-life balance. So sometimes you'll have to prioritize studying for a big exam over going out with your friends because you need that extra time studying. However, sometimes you may need a mental break. And spending an hour or two with a video game or at a coffee shop with your pals is just what you need to freshen yourself. So learn to tell what you really need. What I always like to say is treat yourself, and I kind of do that a little too much. And this meme is so applicable to college. It says skips class to study in the library for another class. I've done this countless times, and I'm sure many of you are going to do this more than once this semester. This is okay. It's okay to prioritize. But if you're doing this all the time, that's not a great thing. That means you're not handling your time wisely. So if you find yourself at Jimbo's or somewhere, during the week, try to prioritize your time during the week for school and study hard on Saturday mornings, and you can go out Saturday nights. Lastly, I didn't put it on here, but all I can say is learn to accept failure. You're not always going to succeed, but what I always think is what's most important is to have a growth mindset. Let's say you failed a class, it's okay. That is 100% okay. A lot of students fail at some point in their life, and maybe it was just your time to fail in one particular course. So I just think take it as a grain, let it roll off your shoulders. Don't let it define you, and I think just go ahead and grow from that. So to conclude this educational how to be a great student, I'd like to finish off with a quote that says, education is learning what you didn't even know you didn't know. That's by historian Daniel J. Borstein. Thank you guys again for watching this video. I hope this really helps you in becoming a better student and having a great semester. Again, I'm here for you guys if you guys need anything. I'll be sending out my essay session times and my essay office hours. I can be contacted through email. I'll also be posting up my contact information on Blackboard, so you know where to find it at all times. Again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you all